Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, February 17th. And we are looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and SPY. Pretty quiet day. Once again, not the easiest day to read as we gap lower, hold the gap. We have an inside week down. We go through last week's low, 10 time frames basically, at least, well, 9, whatever. But can't get any legs to the downside, and then end up coming back trying to get the gap and can't even get that. We take out our IB high in C, our IB low in E, and our IB high again in K, L, and M, but don't get the legs. I thought when we were trading down here, I told the room, said I wouldn't doubt we get some kind of move, of a decent move, either down or up. We did get a decent move, but there was no tempo of volume, and it's the fourth smallest range of the year. So we didn't get what I thought. We're about average volume. Now here's an interesting thing. Both NQ and Righty had inside weeks again. They never took out their inside weeks from last week. So they have double inside weeks. We don't. We're on a 3-week balance now. The daily is down for now in the SPY. And the monthly is up. But the inside month up right now is failed as we're $1 below last month's high. For everything we did this week, this was a very tough week to read with the different MGI. But all in all, we closed down $1 on the week. Not even $1. $1 on the week. So it turned out to be a nothing burger after all that. I had a decent day. Nothing big today. Let's look at the other ones real quick, and then we're going to go over all the charts. So here's NQ. NQ holds their gap like we do. They go out 9 wide. Righty never gapped lower, and they just took out their IB high and the overnight high, and they end 10 wide. And we end 10 wide in ES and SPY, hold a small gap, and a poor high, not only today, but yesterday in ES. SPY does not have poor highs yesterday or today. I took first trade of the day. I didn't do anything right away. I took a short when it got back below the opening, and I ended up breaking even on it because it didn't do much. It was hanging around the opening. I did make money on a 3-lot short right before the 9:45 turnover because the algos were firing down. It paid me pretty nice on that 3-lot when it fired down at the 9:45 turnover. Same thing in D period, I did it. On the turnover, the algos were still firing down because we were still trying to go lower. I did that on a 2-lot. E period, I actually just took a 1-lot to pop the day's low, which worked. Got 2 or 3 points out of it, I forget. Everything was short until late in the day. J period, I thought J could be an afternoon rally high. Actually made money on a short because, I took it for 2 points. Now, I didn't take a short in F because I was eating. Now, F short would have paid nicely because it got close to the opening and then came in real quick, like 6-7 points. But I was eating, so you know how I don't like to disturb my lunch. Then late in the day, I actually scalped 2 longs in L that paid, but then I lost on an M1. I lost 6 points on a 1-lot. I thought we would pop the top, and actually I thought we'd get the gap. So I was long at 90. I ended up taking it off at 84 for a loss. No big deal. And that was it. That was the last trade of the day, last trade of the week. As far as our destinations, SPY's upside is today's high of 407.51 and then filling the gap at 408.14. So it's a 63-point gap from today. Then we don't have anything to 412.91 daily high, 414.06 daily high. For the downside, we have today's 10 wide pocket, 405.31. Then we have today's low, which is a weekly low now, 404.05. Then on our downside, 402.35 is the next weekly low. In ES, we have today's high of 90.50, which is poor, filling the gap at 97.25. And yesterday's daily high, which is poor, 45.50. For the downside, give me a second, I have so many sheets here. We have the 10 wide pocket, 68.50 at eyes high. The weekly low at 55.75. Today's low in 48.50. Daily low. Let's go to the charts. So, again, we're going to start with the Russell. So the Russell, right now, to me is still in balance, right? Again, I'm encompassing as a huge balance. So for me, Russell needs to get over 202 to come out of balance to the upside, even though they're one-time framing up for 2 months. Some people will call this up. I have no problem if you do. So either up or balance, regardless. But I think 202 is the level they need to get acceptance above, which is August high. So for me, I'd call it balance for now. Weekly, firmly balanced. Now, it didn't stop the one-time framing up. Technically, there's still one-time framing up 7 weeks because they have not taken out a previous week's low. But it is, to me now, firmly balanced. You should come out of this with pretty good energy. If it does come out of it, you go with it and monitor it for continuation. Above 199.26 or below 186.83. That's what I'd be looking for. So the weekly is firmly balanced, 2 inside weeks in a row, and the daily, same thing, balanced. They've been riding, look at that, I didn't realize that. They've been riding the 20-day moving average now for the past 7 days. So the monthly, to me, is balanced. All 3 time frames are in balance on righty. Monthly, weekly, daily, all balanced with a double inside week. Triple Qs, monthly, is up. Monthly took out the 311.08 high, so I would call the monthly up for triple Qs. Weekly, balance. Again, they didn't stop the one-time framing up, but it's a double inside week. I'm calling this balance. Now, I would call this whole thing a 3-week balance. So unless they really break above this week's high or break below this week's low, it would still be in balance. But it's a double inside week. So that's balance on the weekly. And the daily, I would call, that's a tough one. I'm looking if I would call the daily. They never took out this low. See, SPY got below that. That's a tough one. I'd probably still call the daily down, though, with the gap. This way, if you take out the daily high on Monday, it's just back to balance. So I would call the daily down on the daily. Yes. So the monthly is up. The weekly is a double inside week. And the daily I would call down. Although that's a pretty nice finish on that daily candle. Now let's look at ES and SPY. And again, the reason I look at these charts is because they're just so much cleaner than the futures because of no rollovers and no back adjusting. Monthly in SPY is up. Has it failed the inside month up again? Yes, it has, but it's still up. Okay? No doubt it's still up. Weekly is balanced. We took out last week's inside week to the downside. Not by a lot, but we did. It's a 3-week balance for me. Okay? The week of January 30th is your weekly balance. It's an $18 balance, 418 to 400. Keep that in mind, those 2 levels. And the daily is down. Okay? See, NQ, Qs never took out that other daily low. We firmly did, but I'd still call Qs down. And we're definitely down. We're below the 20-day moving average for the first time, closing below it since January 5th. So we came out of an 11-day balance to the downside. If we take it out to the upside, we'll be back to balance. Very, very disappointed in sellers, though, today. To come out of that inside week, get below the 20, hold the gap, and then go 10 wide and get nothing to the downside. This is starting to feel more like the previous 10 years before last year, where dips have been being bought, rather than last year when we finally had a market that continually got sold on any rally. I hope you had a good day and a good week trading. Thank you so much for your likes and subscribing. Enjoy your long weekend, and we'll be back. I'll be back to talk to you prior to the opening on Tuesday.